Right, the holiday is over, guys, and honestly, I was really looking forward to review the new Forge Pass that dropped in Raid Shadow Legends a couple of days ago. I just got back today, guys, so take it easy on me because I still have a lot of catching up to do. I really wanted to basically disconnect completely from the YouTube, all of the freaking games and stuff. I still did some of the dailies on some of the games that I'm playing, but I've been slacking quite a bit because I really wanted to basically kind of like take them off my head for a week or so. And yeah, I did have a great time, and it felt amazing not having to worry about any of them. Okay. But a lot of things actually happened while I was away. As usual, it seems like it's basically a huge influx of news and events and stuff dropping in the game. But we have a brand new thing, and we have changes to the new gear set that drops from the event dungeon. We're quickly going to talk about that as well. We have a couple of buffs on some of the oldest champions in the game, at least one of them being a vanilla champion, if I remember it correctly. And lots and lots of things. But I want to start by asking you guys, what is your opinion on the new Platinum Forge Pass, right? Before we talk about prices and everything else, I want to hear your opinion in terms of what you're getting as rewards from it. Do you guys love it? Do you guys think it's the best thing that ever happened to Raid? Do you guys think it's an amazing thing that was definitely needed in the game? And you agree that it's great as it is? Or what's your take on it? Let me know in the comments down below before I even start talking about it. So just by looking at it, first impressions, more or less, you're getting some 1-star basalts, you're getting a bunch of rare and epic materials which are useless, right? You're really not getting anything from it. They did introduce new relics with the pass, right? So we're going to quickly check those two. And then we're going to talk about the pass more. But you're not really getting anything important out of it, okay? You're not getting anything that you were not getting before from the game except the new materials for the new relics, sorry, because we have a new relic group. In total, you're going to get 25, 50. So you're going to get 100 legendary materials. I would assume once you're going to get to maximum level, you're going to accumulate more from here. I'm not sure if these 100, 200, and 200 are the materials that you're already collecting from the levels, or is something that you're going to get once you reach level 50. But looking at it at a kind of like with a closer details and stuff, you're gonna see that it shows right here the reward at level 50, which is 6 pieces. Right here, it does not show anything at level 50. So basically, you're gonna get 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175. You're gonna get 190, and you're gonna get 200 epic materials. Okay, so basically this is what you're getting from this pass: 200 rare materials, 200 epics, 100 legendaries. The rest of the materials are really not relevant. Okay, the gemstones are epics. You're getting a random legendary gemstone, which once again is completely irrelevant because most of the gemstones that you want to get are mythical. And the basalts are 3 stars. One of them a 3-star, then you're getting some 2 stars, and you're getting some stardust or whatever the heck is called this currency, which one star stones, sorry, which is not that important. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to have it. You need to have it to move relics around, to level up relics, but it's not like you're getting tons of it to be worth the price. Now, if we're quickly going to have a look at the new relics, guys, truth be told, I'm really not sure exactly how good they are. I haven't really checked them out personally because, as I've mentioned, I wanted to disconnect. They should be in a new area, I think, right? So these are the ones from the event, and these are the ones from the Forge Pass. So basically, we have 2 rare, 2 epic, 2 legendary, 2 mythical. Let's start with a Frost Spawn Cocoon. Basically, I'm going to move my head on the other side. The stats: HP, defense, resistance. The wearer is healed by 2% of their max HP when using their default skill, which is going to go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% every time you're using the basic skill. So, a bit better than a Immortal set, half of a regeneration set, more or less. Definitely nothing too crazy. It could potentially be used. Why not? I'm not saying that is a bad one, but it's nothing like, oh my god, it's going to change the game. It's going to allow us to do more solo comps or anything like that. But it's a decent one. Then we have the Pyros Malleus. The wearer deals 2% more damage if all allies are alive. Doesn't work if there are no allies in the battle. So for solo, that won't work. You need to have a full team. You're getting attack, HP, and crit damage. You have a triangular gemstone. And the damage boost can go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% if all allies are alive. This is actually a pretty good relic for damage dealers. I wish the crit damage would have been instead of the HP, and the HP instead of the crit damage, so you can actually maximize a bit the stats on the characters. But overall, 8% more damage when your characters are alive at maximum level is decent for a rare relic. Then we have the Andromeda's Diadem. HP, defense, and speed at the last tier. And you have the following effect. Whenever the wearer heals, an ally with an active skill has a 10% chance to decrease the cooldown of one of the wearer's skills by 1 turn. And that occurs once per turn. Now that chance will increase to 15, 18, 21, 25% chance to decrease the cooldown of a skill. Decent-ish. Actually not too bad. Not special either. There is a lot of RNGs, only a 25% chance, right? But used on the right characters, it could be very good for PvE content. Maybe even for PvP, but hard to introduce in PvP. A circular and a triangular gemstone. Then, going back, because seems like I've misclicked, we're going to have the Exile's Crown. And this one has resistance, HP, and defense. The wearer receives 1% less damage for each debuff on them. And that can go up to 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5% less damage for each debuff on them. So if you have 2 debuffs, 10% damage reduction at maximum level. I mean, you have defense down or a weaken, you're going to get wrecked anyway. So it's not really going to make much of a difference. It could potentially make a difference versus some PvE content where the enemy, the boss, might land a lot of debuffs on you. And that damage reduction could potentially increase to like 30%, 40%, something crazy like that. That's when this relic would become more efficient. But it's kind of like negating the whole thing that the relic does, because it's giving you resistance to start with. I don't need a resistance. If I'm getting debuffed to have damage reduction, I don't need a resistance in it. So why not HP, defense, and speed instead of the resistance? Because that resistance is pointless in there. If you build a character with resistance, you're not going to get debuffed. So this relic, it won't make an effect because it won't activate without debuffs on the wearer, right? So it's a bit dumb. Then we have the Blades of Akumori. Legendary one, we have accuracy, HP, and defense. Whenever an ally is attacked by an enemy, the wearer has a 15% chance of placing a provoke debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Whenever any ally gets attacked. And that chance will increase up to 30%. Yeah, decent. Definitely not bad for content like Faction Wars Hard Mode. If we're talking about Curse City. For Hydra, I wouldn't really rely on it, because if you're going versus the Head of Decay, trying to basically control it with a provoke, that head, it will only attack you with the basic skill, which means that it's going to use the third and the second skill without attacking, and this will never have a proc on it, so it's not reliable for that. Then we have the Bane of Sintranos. I'm curious if this is actually going to be good in Sintranos. Accuracy, HP, and defense. Whenever an enemy receives a buff, the wearer has a chance of getting the same buff for 2 turns and occurs once per turn. And that chance goes up to 30%. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it unless I'm going versus Odin, who's gonna give block damage, block damage, block damage, and having a chance to get that on, that can be really, really nice. Versus some bosses that might get some crazy buffs on, it could potentially be good. In PvP as well, I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be trash, but it's just a 30% chance. And if it doesn't really proc in the first attempt when an enemy buffs, or the second attempt when the enemy buffs, it might be game over for your team already. So I don't necessarily think that it's going to be as effective. Then, moving on to the mythical ones, we have the Immortal Visage, Orange, something like that, right? This will give us speed, HP, and defense. Once per round, the wearer is revived with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Very nice. And this is gonna go up to 100% HP and 100% turn meter. I think this is a very, 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 very good relic. Think about using it on some of your craziest support characters. Think about using this on a Galatir, okay? So Galatir will proc the passive, he won't die. The enemies will eventually have to kill him if they do not apply a block revive on him. He's gonna revive back on 100% HP with 100% turn meter, almost being ready to revive the entire team. So this can be a very, very crazy relic to stall defenses in PvP. It's going to be a great carry in PvE. So if you're ever going to get a relic like this, I think it's a GG's. Now I'm going to talk about the problems with these relics, the paywall, and overall their strength, okay? Because this is a busted relic. This is a very busted relic in my opinion. Like, if you're thinking about what we had with the Chaos Awakes event, I forgot the name, the Crown of Corruption, right? That was a busted relic. They nerfed it after people started dropping their hard-earned resources and money into events and stuff to get a relic. They nerfed it. A very high chance that it can happen to this as well, if a lot of people complain about it. Then we have the Dread Bomb, which is another mythical one. You're getting crit damage, speed, and attack. Very nice stats on it. The wearer has a 10% chance to gain an extra turn when attacking. The wearer also ignores 10% of the enemy's defense when attacking during extra turns. That is crazy good. Plus, the Immortal Visage can be used on damage dealers as well, not just revivers. I just gave you an example, right? But this Dread Bomb, actually very crazy. The chance will go up to 20% to get an extra turn, and you're going to ignore 10% of the enemy's defense when attacking during extra turns. Now, I'm curious if those extra turns will count the ones from Relentless, the ones from skills, like especially on mythical champions and all that stuff, right? It could. This is a crazy, crazy powerful relic as well. Very good stats on it. I wouldn't say it's at the level of Crown of Corruption in terms of how busted it is, but I think it's a very strong relic. And honestly, both of these mythical relics are amazing. I would love to get them. But that brings me to the next problem. Paywall. The only way you're ever going to get your hand on these relics is by literally purchasing this pass. And I'm not talking about this pass right here, the gold pass, or the gold pass with 25 levels, because that won't give you shit, okay? I'm talking about purchasing this trash right here that will give you access to the platinum pass, which will cost you $50 freaking dollars. 50. I'm not even sure if that $50 will include the gold pass into it as well. Like, if I'm gonna, maybe some of you did it. I'm not gonna do it because this is absolutely atrocious. This is literally a robbery. This is a robbery, but dumb people will give them the money. And I'm sorry if you feel offended if you gave them the money on this pass. But if you're valuing 200 rare materials and 200 epic materials and 100 legendary materials at $50, you are literally out of your mind. And I would strongly recommend you to go and see a doctor. But leaving all that on the side, guys, let me know in the comments down below if any of you guys bought it, right? Leaving the sarcasm on the side and the jokes, and I wasn't joking. But if you purchase the $50 one, are you gonna get access to the gold one and the platinum? Or is literally $50 for nothing? It's basically handing Plarium $50 for nothing. Let me know in the comments down below. But either way, you won't get any of those materials from the free pass, okay? This is literally a paywall on the relics. This is something that I hope that they will not do. But it seems like they introduced new super strong relics, and they've introduced a way for you to get them. Now, actually, I've just remembered now, so I will take that back. I do remember that they've mentioned that they will introduce these materials in some events and stuff in the future, but they have no ETA for it or what exactly is going to happen. I'm actually quickly going to check if I can find some information about it anywhere. I really don't know where they've posted about it. I just know that they did. It might be on kind of like a raid digest or the update version, something like that. Let me just quickly try and bring that up right here and see if we've seen it here. Yeah, okay. So basically right here. Unlocking the Platinum Pass also gives you access to all core and gold pass rewards. Okay, so basically no need to answer that, guys, because I've just found this. So you're gonna get access to all of the pass. So basically they value these rewards, right? Let me just freaking go back to them. They value these rewards, these things that you see right here, these 500 materials at $30. $30. You barely have a chance at getting a mythical from here. And the mythical ones are definitely the most interesting relics. The legendary ones are decent, not game-changing, but the mythical ones are really, really good, okay? And there you go. You want them? You're gonna have to work for them, boys and girls, because crafting 100 legendary materials, let's see, the chance for it is going to be, for a mythical, a 0.5% chance. It's like opening an ancient shard, trying to get a legendary champion. The only difference is that you can forge 300 of these without hitting the 0.5% chance, because there is no mercy for the relics. Unlike the shards, at 220, you're gonna get a guaranteed legendary. A random one, but it's gonna be a guaranteed one. On top of it, you still have the 50-50 chance of hitting the standard, the regular relics, right? Not only the ones from the pass. So it's definitely not something very, very interesting, in my opinion. But as I've mentioned, let me know in the comments down below. They've made some other changes as well, guys. Basically, we have the champion rebalance that I actually wanted to cover. Elegaius was a fusion, so he's not a vanilla champion. But Raglin seems like she got a nice buff. I'm not going to say that she's OP or anything like that, but definitely a very, very good buff compared to what she was before. I'm not even sure if this is live in-game at the moment. Let's actually check. Removes all debuffs, increase attack. Yeah, this is actually live in a game at the moment. So having this skill on a 2-turn cooldown revives an ally with 75% HP, 100% turn meter, and decreases the cooldowns of all of the skills, I think is massive. I think this revive skill is crazy, crazy powerful. One thing that I wish is, instead of this increased accuracy, I wish this would have been immunity. If we were getting immunity and increased attack, she would have been one of the best freaking support characters in the game. PvE, maybe not PvP necessarily, because her passive is not something that will keep her alive, but is a good passive, right? The A1 is more or less the same. They will get a turn meter, but this is a good one. And the heal is now based on attack and HP. So you're going to be able to get a bigger heal now than you were able to get before. So think about the attack as a bonus. You're going to want to prioritize as much HP as possible. But the revive is really strong. Being immune to block active skills and increased cooldown effects, really, really strong. So I think Raglin got an amazing, amazing buff. If we're talking about Elegaius, I still don't think he he's a good one, right? Like, he can be useful in faction wars hard mode and stuff like that. But he's really not something that, oh my god, this was a huge buff. So I kind of like wanted to quickly touch down on those as well. And for people that are wondering, how should a pass look in a game like Raid Shadow Legends, in a mobile gacha game? So at the moment, I'm not really playing a lot of games. I'm playing Dragonair Silent Gods, I'm playing Etheria Restart, and I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends. Raid, I can say it with confidence that they've copied a lot of their event type of stuff that they're doing in the game from Fortnite. Some of you guys might be like, Skratch, you're crazy. Raid copying Fortnite? Yes, raid copying Fortnite. Because Fortnite was actually a game that literally revolutionized the gaming industry. With their battle passes, with their free-to-play approach, making billions and billions and billions just from cosmetics and stuff. So yes, you can definitely say that Raid copied a lot of things from Fortnite, including the way they're doing collab events with other big IPs, right? Hell, even this freaking character looks like he's a character from Fortnite. April on looks like he's literally a character brought in from Fortnite and threw in Raid Shadow Legends. Literally. But if you're thinking about a pass, it doesn't need to be called a battle pass, a forge pass, a champion pass, or whatever the heck it might be called. It's just a pass in a game. Right? In Fortnite, I think it's something like $5 or $10. And it gives you tons of awesome things. But we can't really compare Raid with Fortnite. So we're going to have a look at different games. So if we're talking about Etheria Restart, in the exact same space, in the exact same genre, more or less, except this is an anime gacha, right? I think even their battle pass is kind of like trashy. You're not really getting much out of it. But just to show you prices and to kind of like show you an idea of what you can expect, $10 to buy the pass, the regular one. The premium one is $14 or $15. And what's gonna be different? You're gonna get some additional gems and you're gonna get a couple of cosmetics. Pretty damn cool. Now, the rewards in here, guys, are actually decent-ish because you're getting summons, you're getting some chickens, basically shadow prints, you're getting tons of XP for shells, for characters, you're getting gems, you're getting silver, you're getting skill ups for your characters, but you're getting tons of value for the $10 that you're investing in it. And as I've mentioned, not necessarily the best value compared to other passes in the game. And this is not called a battle pass, it's just a hyperlink pass. If we're going over to Dragonair Silent Gods, and if we're going over to their pass, for example, they have something very, very similar. So this is called the Walker's Trail, okay? Is a pass that will give you cosmetics and it will give you tons of rewards. Now, during every season, you have 3 of these passes. The price for one of these is going to be $9.99 or $10. You're going to get 12 Master Scrolls, the equivalent of 12 legendary books in Raid Shadow Legends, 1,500 gems, 24 of their premium summons. You're going to get a cosmetic footmark, which will leave a mark after your character. You're going to get an avatar, which this looks pretty trash. 12 of the regular summons. Think about this as more or less the ancient shards. And you're going to get 12 of the epic scrolls, 12 of the rare scrolls. Plus, you're going to get a bunch of other materials, right? You're going to get materials to forge gear. You're going to get gold. You're going to get materials for talents for your characters. A bunch of stuff for $10, okay? Pretty damn crazy. To get all of this value for $10, not $50, okay? So that's how pass should look in any game, including Raid Shadow Legends. But of course, as long as some people will pay for those ridiculous prices, they will get away with it because why not? Now, I'm curious if you guys shared feedback on that thing because personally, I think that is absolutely crazy. Let me just quickly show you the other pass. So basically, when they have like a new event or something like this, you're going to have another type of a pass. And right here is called the Echoes of the Other World. Because I've been away, I haven't purchased them yet, but I'm gonna do this straight after the video. So all you gotta do is, of course, purchase the pass, play the game, and you're gonna get 1,200 gems, 30 of the premium summons, and 3 legendary scrolls, okay? And the price for this as well is $15. Not as good value as the regular one, because this is kind of like part of the Otherworld exploration event, and you gotta complete milestones like get a lot of points in here, which is doable to unlock the 300k, and then bang, you're gonna get all of those rewards. That's how a pass should actually look. Now, if you're checking these ones right here, I would not necessarily say that, okay, the gold pass is trash, is no value in it. I think it's huge value for players starting playing the game that don't have a lot of endgame gear. I think it can give you a huge freaking boost in terms of giving you some good gear, right? But overall, as a pass, comparing it with any other game out there, I don't have King Arthur on to show you the pass in there as well for $10. Crazy good value as well, including a guaranteed random legendary. But I think this is definitely crazy. Now, the gold pass was already expensive. $50 for this trash at the bottom called the platinum is just... I think they lost the plot. They're out of their mind with the pricing for this. But I'm sure that you guys will give them feedback. I'm sure they will love my video as well. And hopefully they will actually understand that they're giving us nothing for the $30 that we need to add on top to purchase this. I will not purchase this one. I just do not think that is worth more than $5, okay? So the Platinum Pass on top of the gold one should be an additional of $5, okay? What you're getting from here is literally not worth more than $5. No matter how you're going to try to argue it and no matter what you're going to try to say, it's just not worth more than $5. For what? For a few rare relics and a couple of random trashy gemstones, I just don't think it's good. But leaving all that on the side, guys, time to quickly check a couple of different things. We have the Smart Fella Titan event, which is going to give us one of the legendary relics. I think we're getting an epic relic as well. And of course, you're going to get a 5-star soul for Donnie. You're going to most likely gonna be able to get some of the other legendaries as guaranteed at some point. I'm not sure exactly when they're gonna do it, but they will do it because, hey, this event is gonna be a 3-month-long event or something like that. And I think it's worth trying to get a soul for the champion. He is a support champion. It's not as important as on a damage dealer to really impact your account by a lot, but getting that brimstone on him can be nice for a lot of you guys that are looking to progress through the game. For the rest of you guys, justifying the 5-star soul on him, I think is good, but is not a necessity. Like, it's not one of those characters that, oh my god, is going to be game-changing if it has the soul. But I'm going to try to go for the soul anyway and try to complete the Titan event. The most important thing as well is the fact that, based on our feedback and based on the fact that nobody even touched this freaking dungeon at the beginning, I haven't done a single run. I've seen the announcement that they buffed the gear set while I was on my holiday, so I will be doing a guide on the boss probably tomorrow, guys. But as you guys can see it, I've told you in the videos, this gear set was trash, okay? This gear set is not going to be used more or less in any endgame content, at least not on my account, not on some of the craziest accounts in the game, because you bring in a Crixia, you remove the buff, bang, the lockout will happen anyway. You're not getting a combo with Stone Skin. You're not getting anything to give you survivability, and that's so important in the current meta. You can definitely play around with lockout champions and stuff. You have a lot of mythicals in the meta which already countered those champions, so the set itself was bad. But they actually changed it, okay? So we're quickly going to have a look at that, then we're going to end the video. I know a lot of catching up to do and stuff, guys. I really wanted to give you my take on the new Trash Pass because, I mean, honestly, you're really leaving all the jokes on the side and stuff, guys. I know I like to kind of like take the piece out of you when you're buying trashy packs and stuff. buying this one is, you literally need to be out of your mind. Like, yeah, I understand a lot of people have a lot of disposable income. You don't look at $30 as I might be looking at $30 and stuff, but it's just that thing of, do you support something like that? Do you stand behind literally getting robbed and you handing them your wallet, your credit cards and stuff? Because $30 for that stuff, man, is just mental. But the changes to the gear set. So basically, they've changed even the actual bonuses that you are getting from it. Even the buff changed as well. So the old version had the following stats. Now, the new version will give you 20 resistance, 10% speed at 2 pieces. That is great. That is amazing. So once again, I can recommend you, do not farm Spider right now unless you're doing it for Fusion or some other events that are important. Focus on the new dungeon, getting 2 accessories. Bang, they're going to give you 10% speed and resistance. Very, very good for accessories. And this is for everybody. Early game, mid game, late game, it doesn't matter. Then at 3 pieces, you're going to get 20 resistance. At 4 pieces, you're going to get 1 stack of immutable at the start of the round. And each immutable stack blocks an attempt to increase skill cooldowns on the champion. 5 pieces, 10% speed. 6 pieces grants 2 stacks. 7 pieces, 20 more resistance. 8 pieces, 12% speed. And 9 pieces grants 3 immutable stacks, which means that this should counter all of the champions, including Warlord, who will more or less lock it to maximum. But it really depends what cooldown you have on the skill. If it's a 5-turn cooldown, a 5-turn skill, a skill that has a 5-turn cooldown, I can't speak anymore, then yes, you can still get locked, because this will only block the 3 turns. But the immutable rebalance. Each stack of the immutable buff will now completely block any attempt to increase a skill's cooldown on a champion. Not just a single turn of cooldown. So that is basically the change, okay? Each stack will completely block that. If I understand it correctly, I might be wrong, but right now, 1 stack can basically block any increased cooldowns on the champion from 1 enemy. That being said, that is good, because now you can pair that with a stone skin, right? And it's gonna be solid, because you can block the first lockout. Unless I misunderstood the last part right here. Either way, I will be releasing a guide on the boss tomorrow, guys. Let me know if you are more interested in farming the gear set. I do think now, after the rebalance, is much, much better. And this just shows one thing, guys. When we come together and we give them feedback, and I mean giving them feedback by not engaging with the game mode, they will quickly act, okay? I bet they looked at their data once they released this new dungeon, and literally nobody gave a flying F about it, and nobody farmed it, okay? Maybe some of the whales went to stage 30 just to get a new challenge and beat the new boss and stop there. But I do not think that anyone went ham to farm it. So they had to quickly change it. So as long as you guys, as I've mentioned, give the feedback, things can change, including that freaking pass. But either way, as usual, much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.